What I want to do now is just to share with you some thinking for the downturn that's coming in. Now, what is this downturn? I don't want to frighten people, but the fact is you've got to be a bit realistic. You can't be naive with what's going on. I'm going to give you 3 ideas to help you with the impending downturn that's coming into the marketplace. Now, we've had a terrible budget turmoil recently, haven't we? We've had a war in Europe, of course, which is continuing onwards. We've got rampaging inflation now, which is biting into other goods and services, particularly foods and other things as well. Business is tailing off. However you look at it, it is tailing off. And you might be speaking to lots of clients, but it may well be that your completions have fallen. Clients might be stalling, pausing, taking a breath, waiting for things to calm down. For example, you might have seen a lovely couple in the summer, a young couple who wanted to buy their first place, got their deposits, you got everything done in a decision in principle, and they said they were going to find a place in the autumn. Now they've decided not to. They renewed their short hold tenancy for another 12 months at a good rent. They're happy with that. And they said, well, they're going to look at the housing market next year in case prices come down. That's what people are thinking. You can't stop them thinking that. People are like that. So things have calmed down. Now, you might have a few product switches keeping you busy. There might be some protection advice that you're doing to past clients maybe, and that's earning you some good commission as well. So, your business is ticking over, but not busy as perhaps you want it to be. Now is your time, of course, to take stock of the situation and kind of control how you're going to be looking at yourself in the next 6 months or so. And I'm calling this taking the mick, which is my acronym. So let me share the mick with you. Let me share the acronym with you. It's MIC, which, apologies to all Michaels of the world, taking the mick. And there's 3 things to take a look at here for you. The first one to take a look at is making contact. The second one is you're in a game. And the third one is CPD. In other words, continued professional development. And I want to talk about these 3 for you. Just briefly, just to give you a few more thoughts about what you need to be doing here. Now, the first one there for you was the M, making contact. What we need to be doing now and way into next year is to start to ring fence your client base. Now, I was chatting to some people this morning about IFAs being acquired by large firms. There's a lot of acquisitors going on. They're acquiring lots of firms, buying them with private sector money, private equity money. And they're buying pretty much the client base from the IFA. The IFA is retiring. She's retired. But there's a client base there with funds under management. It's the client base that is worth the money. Now, as a mortgage broker, mortgage advisor, you will have a client base. I know those clients belong to other people as well, but you have them on your CRM system. Now's the time to cuddle them, closet them, ring fence them as much as you can. Contact them each, phone them, have a quick meeting on Zoom, just to reassure them, update them on how things are going in the mortgage market. Just make sure that they remember you and who you are and what you can do for them. And readily contact them over the next 3 to 6 months. Really closet your client base. That's making contact. That's the first thing you need to do. The second thing you want to consider is your inner game. The inner game. Now, what you have to do here is think about your mind. A lot of people, when they're faced with something they're not used to, like a recession or a downturn, freeze. Their mind freezes. Their motivation goes and they start thinking negatively. You can't help it. If you're unaccustomed to a slowdown in the economy and you haven't seen one before, then the whole concept scares you to death. The fact is there's been many in the past, and that's fine. But what you need to do here is to create and get yourself some resilience strategies, some ways in which you can keep positive and keep that motivation going. And there's all sorts of tactics and techniques you can use. I've got my book, NLP and Selling, which you can obtain if you wish to. My book might help you with that, and I'll take a look at that in a second for you. The other thing, though, to do here is to find somebody, get yourself a mentor. Mentors are great because they're usually free. Somebody who's in the sector, who's been around for a while, who's experienced recessions and downturns before. Those people will show you what to do, how to handle things, because they can advise you. They've been through it before. But it's all about managing your inner game, because if you don't, you'll freeze. You'll just get scared and you'll watch the news. It'll be like the early days of the pandemic, where all we did was go onto the news, didn't we? We know what was going on. We had never experienced it before. Unprecedented, they said, didn't they? Ah! But the fact is that downturns are not unprecedented. They've been around for many, many years. So that's number 2 for you. The third area for you, the C, remember we're talking here about, let's put this up for you, you can see them, the CPD. So make contact with your clients in a game, CPD. Now CPD, again, I've talked about this before, but what you need to be doing over the next 3, 6 to 12 months is taking the opportunity when things slow down a little bit to advance the old brain, which is all you have to sell. Plus software, of course, but it's the brain. Advance your CPD, maybe update your skills. Update your regulatory permissions is something that will probably pay dividends for you. Think about equity release as an update. You can get the exams for that one, get yourself slipped over to that marketplace fairly quickly. Think about development finance, corporate protection. Get your RFIs, your Cert Pros in as well, the protection advice. Development finance, of course, is a key area now. And during a recession, there's people with cash who'll buy rundown properties, do them up into flats, flog the flats, or rent them probably if house prices come down. There's a lot of that going on because builders are cheaper now. Building materials will start to come down as we bite recession, bite the inflation. So the next year to 2 years, there's going to be a lot of development going on, and you'll be wanting to be there to finance that. So that's a sector to think about as well. The other one, of course, is financial advice. There is a dearth of financial advisors. Every statistic you ever read tells you that there's few financial advisors. I'm talking about wealth managers, pensions advisors, those sort of people. There's not enough of them. There's not enough of them, and there's so many people wanting that kind of advice. And it's a natural knock-on to what you're doing now. So get yourself on that one. We're starting up an academy next year. We've got Paul Archer's Financial Advisor Academy, in which we're going to be getting you into the exams, getting you all the regulatory side of things, but also the skills as well. So it's a different world, you see. You have to operate differently for that one. So we're very excited about that moving forward. But that's coming next year. So CPD, take the opportunity to update that brain of yours, which you can then diversify your business into areas that are not affected so much by the recession. So take the mick is really the key to it as well. By the way, if you're interested in those books, I've got one on NLP and selling. Let me just share with you the book system over here. Let's just flick over so you can see the website. This is my Lulu page, which is our publisher. And over here you can see all the books that we have. You probably know about these things, but there's the equity release, and obviously you've got all the CMAP stuff there as well. But this is one there, NLP and selling is a key one. Let's zoom in there for you. That one's got a ton of stuff in there on resilient strategies, engaging the brain, making sure that you can operate stuff. So you can get that on Lulu. It's on our website as well if you want that one. We've got the mortgage one there as well, of course. We've got there are mortgage advising new rules. That's one to take a look at. There's a chapter there on inner game as well, so you can certainly read that. I just wanted to share with you some of the books that might help you